Tuesday, August 12th, the time. I call
Commissioner Luck. Richard.
Here.
Fine.
Here.
Oliver. Samuel.
Here.
Hendricks.
Here.
Chairman Scabera.
Here. Next item is approved. Item is approve the consent agenda, the minutes of the regular meeting on 5. Is there a motion? Okay. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda, amending the minutes to include Commissioner Joshua Samuel as being an agenda? So moved.
Commissioner Oliver.
Yes.
Samuel.
Yes.
Time.
Yes.
Hendricks.
Yes.
Richard.
Yes.
Chairman Scabera.
And comments, citizen? Haven't adopted
The ordinance has
5 minutes. DURA will take the comments into consideration, but will not make decisions. I like what maybe. However, DURA has no online. We'll close comments now and move on to item 5, considering a resolution making supplemental for the 2020 budget year. It's 8.
Madam Chair and Commissioners, Resolution 05-25 is a resolution for the supplemental appropriations for DURA for the 2025 budget year. And item A is appropriation from DURA for unanticipated expenditures for the PUC cost share, the Village Alley Volunteer Project, and the redevelopment facilitation services. And the total is $80,000. And item B is to establish a 2025 budget comparison on the 2025 audit report without a variance. And staff recommends approval of resolution number 05-25. Any questions?
So the redevelopment is that for like the Keystone?
It is, and we're going to be way under budget, I think.
Right, if we're going
Yeah.
to go with Keystone.
Yeah. So, I mean, we'll just have a savings. I think that's probably fine. So we want to change it now.
And then the PUC stands,
public utility,
that's the
non-energy.
XO Mountain
Mhm.
Energy. And the Village Alley, that include public work time, et cetera?
Yes.
Okay. Supplies didn't cost.
Is it easier for you to leave it in a 60 and do another supplemental and just stick it in with the next round of supplemental? That number, or is it easy? Change the budget to say 30 to give a little bit of wiggle room. But
I mean, I could do whatever.
Why don't we leave it until we get under contract? Supplemental. Sure that.
get what we need.
Yeah, and we will do another round of supplementals in December.
Yep.
Most likely.
Yeah,
Free time.
that's what you can.
Back heard?
I mean, I suppose. I mean, I would just advocate for staying with the amount that they bid. That's what we all agreed to.
So why don't we just change it then? Want to stick to that number, why don't?
I mean, is it a pain to change it or?
You just have to re-advertise.
Oh. Too much.
We don't want.
It's not that big of a.
We can, what we can do is just create a new a new GL account for this. So it's like it stands out in the reports so that we know that we're staying within budget.
I mean, I
within
think
contract.
we all know, we agreed to Keystone and we know their bid was about
Mhm.
19,000. I trust you. You don't have to change it.
Any other comments? Questions? Open up to the public. Seeing none. Close the public hearing at 8:38 and on to council discussion. Anything? I would entertain a motion to approve DURA resolution number 525 series of.
So moved.
For a second?
Second.
Any further discussion?
Commissioner Richard,
Yes.
Oliver,
Yes.
Hendricks,
So,
Tyne,
Yes.
Samuel,
Yes.
Chairman Scabera.
Yes. Item 6, consideration of DURA resolution number 625, series of 2025, a resolution approving a contract with Vin Marion Barber LLC, DCFCEV charging station project.
Good evening, Commissioners and Chair. I would like to first acknowledge Chairperson Richard, the comment she made during the work session that the concept drawing shown in Figure 1 of the staff report is in fact old. I'd like to explain why. But let me back up real quick. This is a project that we have looked at for a little bit. And we have some funding to help support the installation of 4 DC fast chargers up there adjacent to the town's digital sign and adjacent to the Christie Sports property. When we first looked at it and we prepared this sketch here, we were looking at 4 chargers. And I put together this sketch plan as just kind of a concept schematic. As we've moved forward with civil design, which we did in-house, Dan Burrows, the town engineer, did prepare a civil drawing that we can put out for actual design work with Xcel Energy and get cost estimates from civil constructors to build it. He was able to come up with a 5-charger solution. Staff thought that was great. We got kind of excited about it and started to move forward under the 5-charger solution concept, even though we had already been awarded a reservation of approximately $400,000 by Xcel Energy, thinking we could certainly amend our information with them at no real issue. It turns out there is an issue with Xcel. They are not that flexible. So unfortunately, the most current drawings we have are for a 5-port charging site, and we are confined to a 4-port charging site. We still think that's adequate for this site because, and I can get into that next bit in a minute, but this will allow for 1 parking space, which we have town engineer has been able to identify as kind of that waiting or that if it's a busy location for some reason, somebody could wait as kind of at bat. So ready to go and get into the next spot that comes available. So that's where we're going with that. Part of why Xcel Energy is inflexible is this goes from a 600 kilowatt transformer, which is already quite massive. Adding just 1 more port makes it leap up into a whole nother level, requiring a 1,000 kilowatt transformer, substantial additional costs, and limited availability for such a product. So Because they had already awarded the four-port, we're sticking with that. So as I mentioned, we have the 400,000 approximately from Xcel Energy as a rebate. And we also earned an additional grant through the Colorado Energy Office for $40,000 per port, so up to $160,000. So essentially, those two awards that we've received for this project will cover the chargers within a few $1,000s themselves, which is equal to what the contract before you tonight with Win Marion Harbor is for. That is for the actual electrical infrastructure for the chargers. We're going with a product, Chem Power, which is out of Northern Europe. They're very well established in cold environments, and that's one of our primary concerns. A lot of the EV chargers, especially the DCFC, the DC fast chargers, using a lot of power, they aren't able to deliver that power when it's extremely cold. This is a proven product in Europe, and they've now expanded all around the world. And so we're excited to bring Chem Power to Summit County. Part of why I say we feel that this is probably enough chargers for this site, we already have grant applications for a whole nother phase 2 launch of chargers all around town. So we have identified 7 additional public locations throughout the town center and the surrounding kind of main part of town here, where we'll have dual port level 2 chargers. Those are a little bit slower, but somebody who just wants to top off their vehicle, if they're visiting a park for a couple of hours, would certainly be able to do so. One of the questions we commonly get is, does the town have an identified payment structure? What is it going to cost to charge in Dillon? We haven't determined that yet. That is still work that we will have to do to figure that out as we figure out the dashboard to manage these and get into who on our team is going to help manage the payments and the processing and all of that. So I'm happy to answer any questions. I apologize that we just have not had a chance to put together a revised plan for it. It's a very similar plan. Based on what the town engineer came up with, we have the 4 chargers, 1 additional parking space. We don't have to construct it. It could just be snow storage, but we started to think maybe it's a good place to have somebody waiting as opposed to occupying neighboring business parking or on-street parking. The plan includes ADA accessible site and an ADA accessible sidewalk that would connect to Little Dam Street. And so the site will be fully compliant with ADA. The concept drawing shows a kiosk. We've further refined that to really be more of an informational kiosk. We aren't anticipating having any facilities there. We will have a well-lit site. We will have some signage. We will have QR codes or other means of accessing information for potential places to visit, other things to do in Dillon, other information people might seek. So happy to answer any questions there. I guess at this juncture, we do feel like that this project and the phase 2 launch of EV charging throughout town very much align with the policy goals that the town council has, and thereby also essentially DURA as well, I anticipate. So that is a big part of why we have this as a DURA project, is it has potential to really spur interest in the town, get people to come and visit and possibly stay for a little bit. Given that, town staff does recommend awarding this agreement to Win Marion for the amount of $560,790.74. Again, most of those funds will be rebated to the town upon completion of the project.
If snow storage is part of it?
I'm sorry?
Is there a snow storage?
There is, and it's shown kind of poorly in my sketch plan, but it's off to the northwest. It's actually not shown on this one. Yeah, but in the northwest, the Public Works no longer needs that gravel driveway that cuts through from the sidewalk. So that whole area will be available for snow storage.
Will there be any kind of signage? And hey, here's a charging station.
I had originally contemplated that. The sign zone would allow us to put a pole sign up there. From what I've heard, all the users of these vehicles are so sophisticated and their cars are so sophisticated, they practically drive themselves to the next charging location. So they find them just based on apps that they have on either their phones or in their cars.
And that'll automatically add this into that.
We'd have to work
Network.
with the different networks.
You have to tell it.
Yeah, we'd have to pinpoint, like geolocate that site and then work with all the different EV manufacturers.
Any other questions?
I have a quick question on the handicap, which I think is great. But if somebody's not using it, is it available for somebody else to be able, I don't have one of these cars, so maybe it doesn't matter. But if it's empty, like I know an empty handicap parking spot is available, you can't use it. However, if there's nobody using it and somebody's waiting in the full time, like you had said,
Yeah, we have no intent to place signage that would, deviate from standard ADA
so it would be like
requirements. So,
regular parking spot.
yeah, I don't know that the Dillon PD or anybody actually polices that. And certainly people do park in disabled parking without having a placard. But that is a requirement with the ADA, is if you have a parking lot, you must provide ADA parking. And in fact, all of the chargers must be ADA accessible from somebody in a wheelchair, even if they aren't in an ADA spot. So that's all part of this entire kind of how these networks are building out.
Curious. Thanks.
I think when you were talking about the project before, there are only so many approved providers, so I assume Win Marion offers a provider. Was it, or how did you find them? That's, I guess.
Oh, as far as the charging units themselves?
The person who's gonna, these people are gonna install them, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so are there all sorts of people who do this work, or is it really?
This is a one of the Excel Energy preferred
That's what I meant.
providers.
Okay.
So they do a lot of work with Excel and other communities doing these projects. So that's one of the ways we chance into them. They are local. They are down in Littleton. And in fact, they've invited us to go look at their facility. So if anybody would like to do a field trip, I'd be happy to go along with folks and show them what they do there. And
Summit Stage uses them. They're fairly responsive.
there you go.
Well, that's good.
Uh-huh.
And then I did notice that, like, the maintenance, that was my other question right off the bat was, so how do we maintain it over time? But part of this contract, they maintain it for is it like the first 5 years, something?
Yes. And
Okay.
that's part of the these rebate programs with Excel that's part of what the participant contractors need to abide to. So that's part of why that exists.
And then after that, the Public Works that maintains it, or how's it?
Well, perhaps, but it'd just be a service contract, just like we would have with our, generators or other equipment that we might have that we can't service in-house.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Any other questions? Is there a motion to approve DURA resolution number 625 series of, is
So motion.
there a second?
Second,
Any further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Hendricks,
Yes.
Oliver,
Yes.
Samuel,
Yes.
Richard,
Yes.
Tyne,
Yes.
Chairman Scavera.
Yes. Thanks for all your work on this. Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I think it's exciting.
It's very exciting. Very exciting. Dillon's on the map.
In case you're interested, Nissans are really discounted right now, just a lot. If you want an EV, I guess they can't get rid of them.
Next agenda item is adjournment. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. This meeting's adjourned at 8:53. Thanks, everyone.